Welcome to the Bald Brad Show. In today's episode, we got drama in the White House, baby, between the diversity hire, Karine Jean-Pierre, and the Admiral, John Kirby. And I guess, according to this report from Axios and Fox News, it's pretty bad. They're saying the White House press secretary, Karine Jean-Pierre's relationship with National Security Council spokesman John Kirby is fraught with tension. You can cut it with a knife. It's so delicate. In an article headlined, "The White House's Tense Podium Battle," sources told Axios that Kirby is a Biden favorite who often speaks to foreign policy, whereas Jean-Pierre is more focused on domestic issues. Uh-oh, a little bit of favoritism happening in the White House, and now it's causing problems. I like that they add in here that Jean-Pierre is more focused on domestic issues. How about we add in that she's focused also on spinning, lying to the American people and reporters, and just downright not answering people's questions? You can add that in there too. It says here, check this out. Jean-Pierre and Kirby have split the podium in the White House press room more frequently since the Hamas-Israel war began in October. Aggravating tensions that began in the spring of 2022 when Jen Psaki, that knucklehead, that circle back girl that sucked at her job too, departed as press secretary, current and former Biden officials said, according to the report. While Jean-Pierre and Kirby have both shared frustration over appearing together, God forbid, they, quote, both keep appearing at the podium together for one reason and one reason only, because Joe Biden likes it. Folks, if you want to do anything correct in that administration, in that White House, just do the exact opposite of Joe Biden and things would run freaking smoothly. Joe Biden, everything he touches just goes down the poop or goes down the drain. Kirby often speaks with Joe Biden personally. He gets briefed personally at his request, and sometimes traveling with the president on Air Force One. And guess who's a little jealous? Guess who's a little jealous? Look who's that down there. That's Karine Jean-Pierre, and look at the look on her face. That is a look of despair, a look of PO'd, I'm pissed off. She don't like John Kirby because there's a little bit of favoritism happening. But watch this. Here's where Democrats come in, because the diversity hire isn't getting all the attention, the spotlight. Watch what's said here. Kirby has also expressed to allies that he would, quote, like to be White House press secretary one day, per Axios, which would be a good move by this administration. John Kirby is just flat out better than Karine Jean-Pierre. Although another official told the outlet that wasn't the case. The report noted Jean-Pierre was upset when she was first offered the job in 2022 because it appeared she'd have to do it in tandem with Kirby. She wanted the spotlight. She didn't want to be next to the white man on the podium. And some black Democrats have felt she's being undermined and treated differently because her race. Oh, really? It couldn't have anything to do with the fact that she sucks at her job. She's terrible at her job. But they can't fathom this. They can't wrap it around their head that it has nothing to do with race. It has everything to do with this individual, meaning Karine Jean-Pierre, being garbage at her job. Folks, he did the same thing with Claudine Gay of Harvard, where she sat there and plagiarized, not to mention her comments, her anti-Semitic comments about Jews and what's going on with Israel and Hamas, that whole debacle. But because she got basically laid off, she resigned for plagiarizing a bunch of times, which is a huge no-no in academia. You had the Democrats and these progressive leftists coming out and shouting racism. Like Abraham X. Kennedy comes out and he says, oh, well, it's racist. It's because she's black. It always has to do with race with these people. It just can't be the fact that looking at their character and how they do their job, that it sucks, it's not good. And then maybe that was the grounds to, I don't know, maybe get rid of her or having to pair her up with somebody else because she can't answer a damn simple question. You don't see John Kirby walking around with a huge-ass notebook and flipping through it all the time, do you? He has a notebook for his speech. She has a freaking giant 4-inch notebook that has answers to everything that's supposedly being proposed to her in the form of a question. She still can't answer it. And then she's upset. Well, I'm going to share the podium. Why don't you reflect on it, you dum-dum? Why don't you reflect on your job? Go look back at tape and see how bad you are. Quote, some black Democrats in the administration and on Capitol Hill say the situation is insulting. Oh, you know it's insulting? You know it's effing insulting that the American people have to look at this lady and hear her every single day, multiple times a week, answer, in air quotes for those on audio, answer questions. That's what's insulting. Because it suggested that the first black press secretary, here we go, all about race, to represent the president needs supervision. She has the brain of a child. She has the attention span of a gnat. It makes sense. Like, to all of us who do all the White House press briefings together, it makes sense. It makes sense why she needs a supervision. She's a child. She sucks at her job. But they're going to blame it on race. Of course, of course. The numbers show just how often Jean-Pierre has to share the podium with Kirby. Check this out. This is perfect. In more than 30 press briefings and gaggles since Hamas, that was on October 7th, Jean-Pierre has briefed reporters solo just once. She's probably so pissed. During a gaggle on Air Force One. According to the report, Kirby has accompanied her at every other briefing since she's conducted except for 3. I love it. It's so good. Oh, I'm eating it up. Where she was joined by National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan, who also isn't bad at answering questions either. He might be another good pick for White House press secretary, but I think John Kirby is above both of them. Sullivan joined once because Kirby was ill. Oh, they had to get in another babysitter, folks. The other babysitter was sick. According to 2 familiar people of this matter. Another portion of the report says Jean-Pierre decides which reporters Kirby calls on even when he's doing the briefing, which some aides see as a sign of Jean-Pierre being insecure. Oh, absolutely. I've noticed it myself. I thought it was weird, the fact that she was sitting there trying to be a power grab move here of selecting which reporters are going to get their questions into John Kirby. Let the guy pick. Let the guy pick who he wants. But they don't want to share power. And that's where all this tension's coming from, right? Because she wants a spotlight. She wants to sit there and have it all to herself. You can really see, if you're seeing this type of stuff like out there in the open, where people don't want to be team players, they don't want to have teamwork, it makes sense why everything's a disaster here in this administration, because they don't want to work together. And when you have a team that doesn't work together, things fall apart. A White House official who works closely with both Kirby and Jean-Pierre told Fox News Digital that they have a good working relationship. Okay. Look, does that picture right there, does this picture right here look like a face that has a good working relationship? You know who she's looking at? You know who she's looking at? Oh yeah, she's looking at John Kirby, and that's a face right there. They don't talk friendships to my mind. Quote, as someone who spends more time behind closed doors with both of them than just about any person, I don't recognize this description of their relationship at all. Is this Joe Biden talking? Where are you, Joe? Is you be quote here, Joe? The truth is opposite. They talk all the time and have a shut up. Nobody believes that. Come on. When you have somebody that's so much better at your job than you are, and you were hired for that specific job, and you got a person coming in that's totally excelling above you, there's going to be a little bit of jealousy going on, especially being quoted as Joe Biden's favorite Karine, and you don't like it because you're terrible at your job. We all thought you were going to be ousted, I don't know, about a year ago when Joe Biden said he was going to campaign again, which is amazing news to me because the guy can't even sit there and walk from his bedroom to his Oval Office. That's why he has marks of CPAP machine, because he's always sleeping. He doesn't know what's going on. He's deranged. Probably has, I almost said autism, but amnesia or whatever the hell is going on with this guy. They're terrified in the White House he's going to trip over a cord in the Oval Office. People think I'm actually joking when I say that. That comes from White House aides. They're terrified that this guy's going to trip over a rug or a cord in the Oval Office. And rightfully so, the dude's falling off his bike stationary. He's falling up a flight of stairs, going up multiple times. Like, in the same flight of stairs, yes, but like in multiple stairs. I mean, stairs are his worst enemy. You would think that it'd be like Iran or China or Russia. No. It could be a sandbag on a graduation ceremony that we saw. Could be an enemy of Joe Biden. You want to know who Joe Biden's worst enemy is? His teleprompter. The teleprompter is undefeated, folks. Undefeated with Joe Biden. Let that sink in. 3 years in, you know how many matches they had with one another? And Joe Biden's still undefeated. Or excuse me, Joe Biden. The teleprompter. What am I thinking? Well, there you have it, folks. Drama between John Kirby and Karine Jean-Pierre in the White House. And like I said, I think John Kirby should replace Karine Jean-Pierre for White House press secretary. And that may just in fact happen if Joe Biden does win another term. God forbid. God forbid. And that's why we got to get out and vote. Folks, I heard your calls. A lot of you liked the scripted stuff. It helps me get out my stuff, I think, in a clearer manner. But a lot of you like the antics, the facial expressions. And I think basically just the personality that I bring. I don't know. I enjoyed the scripted stuff. I actually had a lot of fun writing it. It does save me time doing stuff like this, and I think you guys get to see more of kind of my personality, and us just having fun together. So we'll go back to the normal form. Look, folks, you got to try new stuff. You can't stay in one lane here. You got to deviate over and over and put your blinker on. But look, I'm always curious on how you guys feel about the show, because you have, you sit here and watch it. Granted, yes, it is my channel, of course, but, I always look at it as a team effort where we can work together to produce something pretty great, and your feedback is highly important to me, which is why I ask for it. And, if we don't have that kind of teamwork, then you get something like the Biden administration. So there you have it. But we'll go back to our normal routine of articles, the reactions, the hysteria of it all. And also, again, if you're a part of the Supernatural Saturdays, again, that is over on another channel, folks. Link is in the description for every Saturday, and maybe more. With that being said, folks, hit that like and subscribe button. Leave us a short comment down below. Share this link with your friends and family, all over social media. And I'll see you tomorrow here on The Bob Brad Show.